Hello. Welcome to a brand new video. The camera is so close today. Okay, so today I want to talk about financial habits for a debt-free life. It is the fresh start of a brand new month. Right now, today, it's the first of the month. If you're watching this video down the road, there will be another first of the month, so good news. And I just want to talk about some habits that you can adopt for a debt-free life. Now, if you watch my other videos, you will know that I'm not a fan of like hustle culture and continuing to try so hard that we wear ourselves out and don't even recognize who we are. Or, I also don't believe in sacrificing long term. I believe in building strong rhythms and habits into your life so that the things that you want are the byproduct of that, right? Like everything is in alignment in your life and what you believe to be true, and your habits match that, and then your routine matches that. You can't help but win. So you have a new opportunity this month. And if it's mid-month that you're watching this or any other time, then you can get started next month, or you could do the work you need to do to be prepared for next month. So some financial habits for a debt-free life. I think number one, I have no notes really, so we're just going to go off the top of my head. Number one is like being real with your income, writing down all of your sources of income. Number two, being just as real with your debts and the money that you owe and writing down those. I have, if doing a budget has been really, really difficult for you, I have a budget blueprint. I'll link it's. All my goodies are linked down below in the description box, but it's a low-cost way to do a 5-step budget without spreadsheets. Spreadsheets used to be super, super overwhelming to me, but now I look forward to doing a budget. So you just, you write down your income, you write down your expenses, and then you start filling out your bills from there. I will tell you 1,000%, once you know what you're working with, once you know those things, a huge weight will be lifted off of your shoulders, because there's so much fear, I think, in not knowing the things that scare you, right? It's easier to just not look at our debt and not confront it, because if we don't see it, then it's really not as bad as we thought it was, right? However, we start carrying that in our body, and it comes out in emotions and like stress and worry and anxiety. Whereas if we just were real with ourselves and we opened up our bills and we wrote them down, that's the hardest part, guys. If you can do that, you got this, you got the rest. So be real with yourself. Maybe the first month, maybe you don't just jump into a budget. Maybe the first month is just getting real with yourself, where you're uncovering those things, you're calculating your income, you're looking at things that you could cut that you don't need to have as part of your budget. Maybe you're going out to eat every night and you decide to do that just once a week. Just have your first month be your prep month. Getting all of that out into the open, unless you're ready to go, then just go. Just jump into a budget. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is to do a monthly budget. So once you know everything, you don't want to continue to live the same way that you're living, right? So you've got to try every month to get better every day. I like to say, I'm a mom, so I like to tell my kids every day, just do 1% better than you did the day before, because in 10 days, you're 10% better. And in a month, you're 30% better. And just imagine in a year, you're over 300% better. So just try and do better than you did the day before with your budget, not perfection. You do not have to be perfect. My system teaches that. I'm a big, I struggle with perfectionism a lot of my life, and I'm a big proponent of like just being real with yourself and trying the absolute best that you can every day, because that's all you can do. And it's okay and it's acceptable. So that would be it. And then I think to stay like going the course, I love cash envelopes. Cash envelopes are huge to me. They are my parameters of like nights when I want pizza or I want takeout or whatever. To have that money in an envelope, it removes all the guilt. So then if we go out to eat, I don't feel guilty because the money is already in my cash envelope. Or if I need something, clothes, or the kids need something, there's a cash envelope there. Or like I just paid my DMV fees for my car. There was a cash envelope there. And so it wasn't this big old giant gotcha. It was like, okay, I knew this was coming. I was anticipating it because I have written things down and I've reviewed it every month. So I knew this month I was going to have a really big whopper of a DMV bill to pay for tags. So I pulled it out of the envelope, paid for it with cash, not a problem. So there's just plan. And then so cash envelopes I love. I do not use a credit card unless it is an absolute emergency. I own one and it is for an absolute emergency, just for that. But other than that, I will use my debit card or I will use cash only, because again, I know my parameters, and credit cards can be very, very enticing and dangerous. And my track record, they have been very dangerous in my life. So I steer clear from credit cards. Financial habits. I would say just be super mindful of what you listen to, what you allow to be in your mind. I'll give an example. I'll give an example. Okay, all you Dave Ramsey people out there, I know I loved him too. I still agree with most of what he preaches. I even led a ministry in my church for lots and lots of years, the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. Guys, I'm a big fan of his because it is direction for people who don't have direction, but there's also a very dangerous side to it. And this is the trap that I fell into, is that I beat myself up if I had an emergency and it wasn't planned for. If I just humanly wanted something that wasn't in the budget, the guilt and shame that I've had to heal from and overcome just on my own has been so difficult trying to unwire those belief systems. So I also believe we should enjoy life in our working years, like our 20s and 30s, instead of saving all that we have for when we're in our 60s and 70s. Like, Jesus might come back, guys. We might not get our 60s and 70s. This might be it. And then we can't take it with us. So I'm not saying like be irresponsible, but I'm saying, live within your means, and then also budget for extras. Like, put fun things in your life so that you're not a slave to the plan. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And I think that I think that 1% rule of like smart financial habits to have a debt-free life is just the best. That's the best piece of advice I could give you, because you're gonna mess up and there's no shame, or you shouldn't, that critic inside your brain doesn't get to take over when you mess up financially. Like just keep trying, keep going, keep trying to make the best investments, save for a house, save for the things that are important to you, but do it wisely and with thought and with intention, not because somebody else told you that this is the way that you're supposed to do it. Now, I am still working Dave's baby steps, but they're kind of Dave's baby steps 2.0, where it's my version of Dave's baby steps, because it works for my life. It works for my one income family. And I get to go out and still do fun things and experience life with my children, and go to pumpkin patches and cut trees down and Christmas trees and buy presents. And, our dog is a big expense of mine. He is a big line item in my budget. And he's a gift to all of us and my kids. And that one time in my life, many times in my life, I could have looked at my budget and said, oh, well, we can't afford a dog. But you people who own dogs know the payoff and the benefit of having animals. And it could be any animal, not just dogs, but they bring so much joy to your life that someone from the outside could look at that and say, no, you can't afford that. But in reality, if you want it bad enough, you can shift, you can rearrange. It's all about your priorities. What do you prioritize in your life? What do you want to prioritize? is a big video because there's a lot of thought that goes into this. And it's not exactly, you know, the 5-step process to being financially prosperous. It's that you just try better. You just try more. You're more intentional. And I think a slow life is the direct example or the direct correlation to being mindful with how you spend your money. A slow life, you're going to take things slower. You're probably not going to be going at 90 miles an hour because you're learning what things are important to you, what you want to prioritize. So I hope this video encourages you. I hope that it's like, gives you hope that you can be an imperfect person. You could make your mistakes and you could still go a different way. Like you could still, it's not too late for you. You can still turn around. You could still choose other things. You could still like think about the things that are so important to you. What are those things? And how can you make them more important? And it's usually by doing less or changing your priorities, and then you get to do the thing that you love to do. So I hope that's helpful to you. Please let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy these kinds of videos, and that helps me figure out what kind of content to keep putting out. Anyway, I love you guys. I love this little family, this tribe that we're building here on YouTube, and I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.